Call the City of Apache Junction Water District meeting to order. Roll call.
Chairman Surtee,
Here.
Vice Chairman Wilson,
Here.
Board Member Barker,
Here.
Board Member Evans,
Here.
Board Member Rizzi, Board Member Schroeder,
Here.
Board Member Struble.
Here.
You have a quorum, Your Honor.
Do we have approval on the minutes from the last meeting?
Your Honor, I move that the minutes of August 18th, 2020 be approved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Schroeder,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Wilson,
Yes.
Ms. Barker,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Struble,
Yes.
Chairman Surtee.
Yes.
Unanimous, Your Honor.
Discussion and consideration, or that's what we just, discussion and consideration of Resolution 2020-008, declaring a portion of public utility easement between South Cortez and 11th Avenue. So let's just discuss that.
Good evening, Chairperson Surtee, members of the board. Just to give you a quick update, this is another one of those early patent easements we've talked about in the past. It's located at 1075 South Cortez Road along 11th Avenue. Between Cortez and Stagecoach Roads, the right-of-way has already been abandoned by the city. And this is just kind of going back and getting all the utilities to also abandon their right or give their rights to the property go through. So it's no longer needed for public use as de minimis public value. There's a picture of showing what area it's in. It's just the south 33 feet of a person's property. This is actually George Martinez. We've talked to some of you guys about this in the past. We've worked it out with him and figured out how we can abandon this for him. So staff is recommending to extinguish this and provide owners the full ability to utilize all of this property. Does anybody have any questions on it?
I have one. Have the other utilities also abandoned it?
I believe a portion of them have already. I don't get those results back. Mr. Martinez has to collect those himself and then get them recorded, or some of the utilities record them for him.
Okay, so if we abandoned it, not necessarily have the other utilities.
Correct. But to fully utilize this property, he has to get all the utilities to go through this process.
So I have an if question, just curiosity. If the other utilities were to say no, and we've said yes, do we have access to that property anymore, or is our little line portion all gone?
Our portion is gone at that
Okay.
point in time. So we give up our rights once we abandon it.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we have a motion?
Your
Your Honor,
Go ahead.
okay, I move that resolution number 2020-008, a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Water Utilities Community Facilities District, City of Apache Junction, Arizona, declaring a portion of the public utility easement located adjacent to 1075 South Cortez Road along 11th Avenue between Cortez and Stagecoach Roads, Apache Junction, Arizona, is no longer necessary for public use and is hereby extinguished.
Second.
Be approved. Excuse me.
Sorry.
No problem.
Roll call.
Ms. Barker,
Yes.
Mr. Struble,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Schroeder,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Wilson,
Yes.
Chairman Surtee.
Yes.
Unanimous, Your Honor.
District Manager's report.
Have no report, Your Honor.
District Director's report.
No report
No
tonight.
report. Okay, District Treasurer's report.
No report from the
No.
treasurer.
Okay, so we will, so I guess we're going to have our guests for the council meeting tonight, right? For the,
We have district directors.
We have a district director's report, and then we have also Arizona Water Company here. Is that what you're asking, Mayor, or Chair?
I'm lost. I asked for district,
So
you said no report.
I have no report, and then you asked if there was a treasurer report. We have no treasurer report, but
So
we
I
do have.
skipped over Director?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, District Director's report, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just some quick updates. We've been working with the city and changing over to Munis currently, And we are on a different FSA, our flexible spending account, than they are. And ours goes from calendar year to calendar year. The city's is currently fiscal year. So in the next month or two here, in the next couple board meetings, I'll be presenting to do a 6-month plan so that we can get to the city's fiscal year, so that we're both on this fiscal year rather than us on a calendar year and them on a fiscal year. But we use the same people for this account, Health Equity and WageWorks. So just going to be presenting that to you here in the next couple of months, but we'll have to get that approved just to have a 6-month policy and then change it to a year policy so we match the city after that.
Good idea.
Okay. We also will be working on, I think Joel's been working on this a little bit, but our workman's comp is a little different also, where we have Copper State and the city has
We have
AMRP.
Southwest Risk. I'd love to get you consistent with us.
So we're going to take a look at that. Again, this is all part of Munis trying to get us combined, so it's dealing with the same people on the same years and everything. So we'll be looking into that later, but this one's going to be the first one coming up for you guys.
Brian, on things like that, when you bundle your house and your car and everything in your personal life, they give you better rates. The more you bring in, do they give you a better rate?
What it does definitely do is not necessarily brings us in on the rates, but what it does is it helps manage risk. So the more you have in there, the actuaries tell us that helps reduce the amount of risk, and so over time it can reduce your rate. But they won't say, there won't be a number, oh, we brought in this many staff, there won't be a change in the rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, this will be a future subject, just bring it up to you guys here, and we'll get in more detail later. Our intergovernmental agreement with Superstition Mountain Community Facilities District Number 1, known as the Sewer District, expires the 31st. It was a 5-year agreement we had with them to purchase their long-term storage credits that we've had in the past. We haven't purchased any since we built the plant. We just have decided to save our money and spend it to bring and recharge at groundwater savings facilities rather than purchasing their credits. They haven't had very many in the last 5 years here, but we did set them up with another entity to purchase those credits when we haven't been. So we're looking at renewing that agreement and extending it for another 5 years. So we're in the process of negotiating with them what the prices will be and the term of that agreement. Okay.
So that'll give us first right of refusal, or is it just, how does that work?
That is correct. So the way we did this last agreement, we have first right of refusal, and then when we refuse them, saying that we don't need them that year, or we're not going to purchase them, they have another agreement with another entity that can purchase them after that.
And then we can choose how much we want to take or not take, or
Correct.
we don't have, it's not some or none or all or anything like that.
Correct.
Okay.
The only thing that they have is they have an agreement with Road Haven Resort
Right.
for 70 acre feet that they purchase, so they don't allow us to purchase those, and that's part of the agreement.
Right.
And then after 70 acre feet, we can purchase anything above that if we'd like. Okay. And then just a quick update on our raw water impound project we've been working on. Corolla Engineers just finished up our 30% design on that back in July. We're working with them. They have a cost estimate for construction of about $3.4 million. We're gonna have to do some value engineering on that one to lower that price. It's a little bit much than we want to pay at this point in time. So we're thinking our construction timeframe is 6 to 8 months. We're going to have to split it over a couple fiscal years here. We'll be doing this project as a design build as we get into it here. In the near future, I'll be bringing some design build contract from you. We'll be piggybacking on a City of Mesa job order contract that they have. But this year we have budgeted $800,000, so that I'll be bringing back to the board to approve that dollar amount so we can get started on the project, get the design finished up, and then see the final cost before we move forward with the entire project. So again, we'll need more budget in 21, 22 to finish this project. So, any questions on that one? And that's all I have for today. I'm going to bring up Fred Schneider with Arizona Water Company to talk to you guys a little bit about what Arizona Water Company is doing here in town and what they've been doing in the past and a little bit about them.
So as Fred's coming up, this is consistent with all of our efforts to try to bring in folks that have a big impact on what's going on in Apache Junction, and Fred will explain all the great work that's going on. Maybe introduce your guest as well, Fred, too. So thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm Fred Schneider. I'm president of Arizona Water Company. I took over the position as president when Bill Garfield retired as president At the end of May of 2019, I took over June 1 of 2019. Been in the position a little over a year. I've been with the company for about 13 years, and I've been in the water utility industry for almost 30 years. So got a little experience, but getting to know the communities is what I'm trying to do here. With me, I've brought Bill Staples. Thinking Bill Garfield. Bill Staples, who's our general manager, Apache Junction, and then James Wilson, who's our assistant GM, been with the company for a number of years as well. So they'll get up and do a little introduction of themselves and also have a little part to present. So I want to thank you for having me here this evening. So I'll give an overview of Arizona Water Company. Then I'll turn over to Bill Staples. Bill will get up and talk about the water treatment plants that we have, just a general overview of what we have and how they work. He'll give an overview of the average customer usage we have and what kind of trends we see in our customers' usage. Then he'll talk about some significant projects we completed over the last 5 years. Then we'll turn over to James Wilson, and he'll give an overview of some of the projects we're looking to do in the next few years within the city of Apache Junction. And then I'll take it back over and talk a little bit about our CAP water and what we're doing with our allocation, and then I'll open to any questions. And if there's any questions along the way, feel free to interrupt me or stop me or anything else. So a little bit about Arizona Water Company. We started as a company in 1955, April 1st, and we have grown into one of the largest private water companies in the state of Arizona. We provide water service to 8 counties and about 20 communities, and we run 22 water systems across the state. We serve everything from Sedona down to Bisbee. We serve part of Ajo, all the way up in the White Mountains, Pinetop Lakeside. So we pretty much are statewide and cover various areas across the state. We're also the interim operator of one water system, which is actually down around the interchange of I-8 and I-10. Very similar to the situation with Johnson Utilities, as everybody's probably aware of. In that case, the owner kind of walked off and disappeared. We took over that system about 12 years ago, and we're still running it today as an interim operator. We have about 94,000 connections across the state and serve a population of about 265,000 people. Just go to the next slide. We have 117 wells across the state. And to give you an idea of some of the ranges, some of our smaller wells up in the mountain areas produce about 58,000 gallons of water a day, whereas our wells down in Apache Junction here produce about 4 million gallons of water a day. So we have a wide variety of production capacity of our wells across the state. Some key facts about our water system here in Apache Junction. We have 395 miles of water main. I think of things more in feet. That's about 2.1 million feet, linear feet of water mains that we have. So quite a big distribution system we maintain. We have 7 active wells right now. We have 11 booster pump stations, and within those pump stations, we have 36 booster pumps. We have 2 arsenic removal facilities, one of which Bill will talk a little bit about and kind of explain how the process works.
You said we could interrupt.
Yes.
So you have 22 systems. So they're, like this system that we're looking at here, there's no interconnection with, they're all freestanding. There's not like a grid where you connect to the other. This is all freestanding, you know what I mean?
That's correct. So if we were to take 2 systems and tie the 2 together, they would go from being 2 systems to only being 1.
So you have
So you're
22
exactly-
that are separate from each other.
22 separate water systems that operate from a supply standpoint independently, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Within the city of Apache Junction, we have 8,000 service connections. And then within what we call the Superstition Division, which is basically the Apache Junction area and the Superior system, which Bill and his crew manage, we have about 22,000 water connections. We have a maximum demand of about 12.1 million gallons of water a day. We have an average demand of 4.3. And just give you a perspective, our average day demand is about 6.7. So what we see on average versus what we see in the peak summertime is about double the production capacity. We have an average capacity of about 16 million gallons of water, so we are well over our maximum day demand, so we have ample supplies to meet those demands. And we have about 19 million gallons of water in storage, so about a day and a half of supply of water in storage, ready to be used for public safety purposes, firefighting, and also to meet peak day demands. And with that, I'll turn over to Bill Staples, and he can kind of walk you through some of the treatment plants and projects we've completed.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman Surdy and board members. I'm Bill Staples, the General Manager of the Apache Junction System. I'll go over the treatment plants we have. All the wells that currently serve Apache Junction System are treated to remove arsenic. Arizona Water Company operates 2 coagulation filtration arsenic removal facilities to treat the water. These photos up here show the arsenic removal facility at our baseline site. This site is capable of treating 8.6 million gallons of water per day. There are 5 wells that are treated at this site. The top photo shows the top photo shows the sludge dewatering filters, which are in this area right here, the backwash tank, and then the treatment vessels are located back here. Right over here, this is the edge of the treated water storage tank. The photo in the lower left, right here, this is a chemical. We use ferric chloride and chlorine to inject into the water, which that's all done right here. And then this photo over on the lower right is it's another view of the treatment vessels from the other side and the backwash tank. And again, the treated water storage facility on the left there. Our Oasis arsenic removal facility is similar to this one, and it is capable of treating 7.8 million gallons per day. The graph that's up now shows the monthly system water production on the blue line, and the green line across the top is what our system capacity is. As you can see, we have capacity available for unexpected needs like fire flows, as well as capacity for future growth. This graph is showing our residential customer usage and customer growth over here on the right. As you can see, the residential growth is going up somewhat faster than what the water use is going up. Most of this can be attributed to conservation efforts, the use of low-use fixtures required by plumbing codes, xeriscape landscaping in HOA areas, etc. All right, we have a few slides of some projects we've done recently. The first 2 projects we did in conjunction with City of AJ roadway and drainage improvement projects. The first one was the Delaware Drive Apache Trail to Superstition Boulevard. We replaced 2,500 lineal feet of 6-inch CA with 8-inch ductile iron pipe, and the project cost was $600,000. The second one was the Broadway 10th Avenue in Lothrop, where we replaced 810 lineal feet of 6-inch and 12-inch CA water main with 6-inch and 12-inch ductile iron pipe. Project cost was $440,000. Installing these projects along with the road improvements will prevent damage and cuts to the new road due to leaks and repairs of the old water mains. The next project is an expansion of the baseline arsenic removal facility that we saw earlier. We rehabilitated 3 of the existing treatment vessels and added a 4th vessel, increasing the capacity from 6.4 million gallons per day to 8.6 million gallons per day. This ensures continued reliable operation and increased production capacity. Cost of this project was $5 million. This project was our Oasis arsenic removal facility, which had been expanded from 3.9 to 7.8 million gallons per day shortly before this rehabilitation project was done. This project also ensures continued reliable operation. A little older project was the installation of 12,500 lineal feet of 24-inch distribution water main on Weir Avenue and Meridian Road, which is basically where the Oasis arsenic facility is. This project decreased frictional losses and pumping pressures in the project vicinity and increased public safety by providing increased fire flows to the area. This project was $3.8 million. And do you have any questions?
I have a couple. I don't know if you want them now or when you're done.
It doesn't matter we can ask them all at the end when we're done, if that works.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right, with that, I'll turn it over to James Wilson, and he's going to go over some of our upcoming projects.
Chairman Surdy, council members, or board members, sorry. Thank you for your time this evening. My name is James Wilson. I'm the Assistant General Manager with the Apache Junction, or Arizona Water Company Superstition System. Been with the company for about 20 years. Spent most of my time with the company as an engineer and just recently moved over to the operations side a little bit over a year ago. That's pretty much all I have about myself, so I'll go ahead and get started with our rest of our presentation. I just wanted to talk about a few of the projects that have a significant impact on the customers here in Apache Junction. The first one's our operations center expansion here in Apache. The current office was constructed in 1993. When the company served less than 9,000 customers and employed only 13 people. Today, the company serves over 22,000 customers and employs 39 people. This project is actually going to occur in two phases. The first phase is going to be the office expansion and customer parking expansion. And the second phase will be building a warehouse and material storage area back behind the office. We're currently going through the building permit process. As a part of that, we will be dedicating some additional right-of-way along Southern and along Delaware, as well as a little piece on the northeast corner of that intersection to create a site triangle. The office expansion is expected to be completed here, this next summer in 2021, with the warehouse construction starting in 2022. Estimated cost of the office expansion is $3.7 million. The next project we want to talk about is our the 250,000 gallon tank we're building at our Lost Dutchman storage tank and booster station site. Tank's currently under construction, and main purpose for this is to allow for continuous operation of our Lost Dutchman booster pump station, and which will enable us to finish the rehabilitation of the existing 2 million gallon tank. The 250,000 gallon tank is expected to be done this October, so just a little over a month. And then beginning of next year, we will continue on the rehabilitation of the 2 million gallon tank, remove that exoskeleton, and that's expected to be back online by spring of next year. Estimated cost of the 250,000 gallon tank is $1.6 million. Next project I have is an additional well we're bringing online. It's our well number 20, located in the Ranch 160 development out on the far side of town, east side of town. This well, along with equipping that well, we are currently working on building almost 4 miles of 16-inch ductile iron pipe that'll connect that well to our distribution system right there near Entrada del Oro, the entrance to Entrada del Oro. This one's significant, even though it's outside of the city. still going to have a significant impact here in town because it does bolster our water supply and provide additional water for continued growth. That well is expected to be in service probably the middle of middle of next year, with an estimated cost of $4.6 million. So that's all I have, unless you have any questions,
I have a couple.
Sure.
Okay, so you're currently serving 22,000 residents, and that's just Apache Junction, correct?
Apache Junction and Superior.
Oh, okay.
There's,
Well, I'm basing it on our estimated population of around 40,000 year-round residents. So that's like half of our residents.
that number is just service connections, so however many, on average, I'm not sure how many residents are at each house, but
Okay, so you're east of Highway 88, which is our large lot property. Just go with me, trust me, you are. So what is the current, you have what you're paying per lines here. What does the average residential water meter cost, and what is your cost per linear foot for a hookup?
it's tough to say because there's different conditions, wherever, in different areas. And which side of the road you're on compared to which side of the main. So
No, I understand all of that, and I've been in construction and in real estate. So a lot of problems that we have is the cost of a well versus the cost of a hookup.
Mhm.
A well is 30,000 on up, where when you can state a linear foot cost for a residential hookup, just running the line from the next property that is typically 165 feet away, that's a huge cost and a stop in development because people don't have that kind of upfront money. So that's why I was asking, what is that linear foot cost and a residential meter cost? Because being that this is the water board, we have all of those costs for Apache Junction Water District. It'd be nice if we had that same information available for what it is for Arizona water.
I don't feel like I could give you a number right here, but maybe that's
Okay.
something we can look at and get back to you on and provide some.
Yeah, just to quickly answer your question, so other than the linear foot main price, we don't have a hookup fee per se, so some municipalities may charge $3,000 or $4,000 hookup fee. We don't have any hookup fees for those individual lots. If there was a main adjacent to their property, they'd pay about $750 for a service line and a meter. That doesn't cover all of our costs, but that's our allowed charge for a residential home if they're looking for a service line.
Okay, so I think that information would be really valuable to us who are working in the industry, so you can judge what a piece of vacant land is worth without water on it.
And we have a process, we have a water service information form a customer can fill out. They turn it in, and typically within a few weeks, we'll give them a evaluation of service and what the cost would be to either get a meter installed or a main extended.
Well, and I understand that there's many variables
There
to
is.
that, but to have the idea of what it costs from one water company to the other water company that serves our community, it would just be helpful.
Yeah, we can work with Mike Loggins and maybe put together some type of a table just to show,
Sure.
what the price per, 1,000 gallons of water
Anything
is
in
and meter
development
fee.
that would help.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, I'll work with Mike and go through Brent and maybe put a little table together, and either Mike can present it or we could come back and jointly present it,
That would be
absolutely.
great. And I'd like to thank you all for coming because it is very helpful to be able to explain it.
It is, and that's one of our goals, is to kind of get in front of the city council, the water board, so that, we can, who we are, we can answer questions, a lot easier for those things to go answer than you have questions and we don't get a chance to answer them.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So I just have one more quick slide, and I know, do a quick update. So I just want to talk a little about our CAP supply. We have 6,285 acre feet of an annual allocation. Currently, we use that water for annual storage and recovery, and then part of it we use for golf courses. So put the water in the ground, and each year we recover that water back out of the ground, kind of like your long-term storage credits, but we have them on an annual basis. We partnered with the Water District, and we actually completed a recharge study to look at the feasibility of locations we could put water in the ground. I think it went really well. We worked with Mike Loggins on it, and this is kind of an excerpt out of the report. Kind of shows in the green some areas that look highly possible for recharge, and we'll be working with Mike and the Water District in evaluating that property and working with either the State Land Department or the owner of the purchaser of that property at some point to see if we can jointly acquire some property and do a joint project. Benefits the community, benefits the residents, and would be a cost savings for all of us if we can participate jointly in something. So we look forward to doing that with the city. So with that concludes our presentation. Questions?
Okay, no question, but an invitation, and we talked a little bit about every year we've started doing a State of the City presentation. And of course, with COVID, things are up in the air, but we hope to, with the new mayor, which is sitting up here also, one of the two, we get asked all the time whenever we're putting in 10 houses, and people freak out, oh my God, we don't have water for all this, where we think we're sitting better than anybody in the valley. So we want to invite Arizona Water to help with that also, to just to supply some stats and just reassurances, like if something happens and we can't supply for all the new growth down, can we rely on you guys to kick in to help? And, where we do work together on, crossing lines, things like that. So just showing that this Far East Valley and Apache Junction is ready for the growth that's coming. And on October 20th, there's going to be a sale of the land to the south, but just infill projects as well, just to put people at ease that your company and this board can supply the water. So
Absolutely. I'd love the opportunity to participate with that and help the water board and the city understand their supplies and as we showed today, how reliable they are. Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is just trivial, but a lot of people compare the tastes of the water from the two companies. And I'm wondering, with 22 different systems, I wonder if is there a variance in tastes across the state on how the water actually tastes?
There is. If you, some of our systems, I think years ago before I started, they used to have an award at the Water Association for some of the best tasting water, and a few of our systems up north have won those awards. So the water quality varies quite a bit across the state, and also supplies, whether we're using groundwater or surface water or a combination of the two. But yeah, there is quite a variable of quality and probably the aesthetics of the water across the state.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? If not, we have to run to an executive session, so we're going to thank you once again.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And adjourn the meeting.
All right, thank you.
Great job. Thank you.